Goddamn.
Man. God damn. Yeah, I was gonna say. There you go.
Wow. That was that happened.
Okay. We have a lot to unpack here tonight as we unravel your WrestleMania Sunday post-show review and everything that went down at said show. As a whole, I think night 2 was better than night 1. So this is something that's a common occurrence with Triple H. Is I felt a lot in the Vince era. We've seen a lot of night 1s that outshine night 2.
Mm-hmm.
But here we have yet again another one in the Triple H era where night 2 does stand out more than night 1, as like last year for WrestleMania 40, I would say is the first year it was really like that. WrestleMania 39 I thought had a better night 1, but for the second year in a row under the Triple H administration, we are seeing a better turned out night 2. But
Man.
night 2 severely lacked in the main event department. So, honest to God, this is my honest take on this whole situation. My honest take on this whole situation is the main event was a rather basic main event.
It was.
In saying that, I will say anybody who expected a banger or anybody who expects bangers out of John Cena in this stage in his career, there's a reason there's a farewell tour going on. I've said this from the beginning of the year. Everybody wants to put his in-ring work under a spotlight, and they want to dissect it and say, he can't go. Yeah, dumb fuck. That's why we're in a farewell tour, because he can't really go. He's not really going to give you 06 John Cena. What John Cena can do,
tell a story,
is offer you a story, and he can offer you cinema. That's where WWE went wrong tonight, I felt, because again, for people saying the match was boring, the match sucked. I hate to say this, because I truthfully, from the bottom of my heart, think that John Cena is the GOAT. Do not really expect too many banger matches this year, unless he's in the ring with a guy like AJ Styles, or a guy like CM Punk, or a guy like Seth Rollins. Do not expect a banger out of John Cena in this year, in all honesty. But what I can say is WWE lacked severely tonight with the story that they told. You had this main event angle centered around Cody getting his comeuppance on Travis Scott. You had John Cena smiling as Travis Scott was walking to the ring as if some big angle was about to happen. Like Travis Scott was going to be followed to the ring by Seth Rollins or Paul Heyman. And you proceeded to give us literally just Cody getting his comeuppance, and then the story of the babyface Cody Rhodes can't hit Cena with the championship, so Cena capitalizes on that, and and that was the story. It's a good story. It's pretty basic, but at the end of the day, I just feel for this main event angle of WrestleMania, all of us were expecting so much more. You had me on here talking my shit yesterday, saying, I don't think this is the last time we see Seth Rollins on WrestleMania. I fucking thought he was going to interfere tonight and cost Cody the championship. You mean to tell me you're just going to have Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman walking around as a wrestler-manager duo? As just those two? There's just no ties to The Rock at all, or any of this whole John Cena Rock shenanigans?
Nothing.
So I don't know how the fuck you actually put this WrestleMania main event on and centered it around Travis fucking Scott being the big interference in the main. At that, you should have just left Travis out of it.
Yeah.
And just had those two tell the simple story of the championship getting heavier and Cody not being able to pull the trigger. At that, it just felt like it was fucking missing something. And again, I am not even talking about the match. You could say whatever you want about the match. Oh well, get used to it, because we have a whole farewell tour of it. So again, unless John Cena's in the ring with AJ Styles or Will Ospreay, do not expect 06 John Cena to be tearing it up with Shawn Michaels here. I mean, it's you will set yourself up for failure, and that's just how I feel about it. Match didn't even really bother me that much, but again, like I said, Cena may not be able to offer you a 5-star banger in his age, but he can offer you some story, and that's where I just felt WWE lacked here tonight, man. The story of the WrestleMania main event match was Travis Scott being the interference to help John Cena win his 17th title.
Exactly, man. Like you said, I wasn't expecting the match itself. It's Cody Rhodes and John Cena in the year 2025. It's not Will Ospreay out here. It's not. And I expected that. And what I expected, like most other people, was moments, cinema, a story being told. And we really didn't get the one we were looking for, man. I mean, I was expecting the whole time complete fuckery to happen. The second that ref finally got hit, I was like, oh, match is really starting now. It's about to pop off. We're about to get this and that, and it was just Travis Scott coming out there. It was lackluster as hell, man. I don't know why you would center this around The Rock and do all that stuff when, if you know The Rock isn't going to be here, what did you expect people to think with The Rock not showing up to WrestleMania? Why are you going to make an angle around The Rock, not have him show up, not even have him mentioned, and then at the biggest show of the year, he still just doesn't show up? What kind of reaction did you think you were gonna get there? That's what you made people expect this whole time, and we didn't get any of that, man. Last night, we're thinking, oh, they got Seth out there wearing that Versace. He's hanging out with Heyman. That's gotta be something. Is he just with Heyman? That makes me question the quality of last night's cinema, because now I'm scared he's just with Heyman? What? Like, how is this so fucked tonight? You're making me go back and think about tonight and make that situation worse. Something that was really good, now I'm thinking back on it like, oh my god, is it just Heyman and Seth now? How do you manage to fuck all that up in a fucking few month time period? Why did you move Mania to this weekend for The Rock if he wasn't gonna fucking show up? And you knew he wasn't gonna show up. Why did you put on the show you put on? Again, overall tonight, I did like the show. It was much better than night one, I'll fucking tell you that. But the main events are fucking night and day. Last night's main event, interesting, story driven. Yeah, you were biting your nails the whole time, man. It was great. This, you were biting your nails. And then you were just sitting there like, oh.
And then you just kept biting because nothing happened.
You were just sitting there like, oh, that's it? That's all we get? And, you mentioned it while, we were in that moment. The final shot, they do the pull-out crowd shots where you see the Trons. I'm thinking, oh, that's how we see the Rock Trons, right? No. Just faded to black. End of the show. Nothing. Very lackluster as hell, man. And like you said, I didn't expect much from the match itself. It's Cena in his older age. It should be, that's why you have the cinema around it, because that's the cover up. You didn't cover anything up with any real cinema besides a long ass Travis Scott interference that I don't care about. So you could sell your $55 t-shirt. Very, very frustrating tonight. I don't know why Triple H has this just jaded fucking mindset of just you can't answer questions. You can only create questions to be asked and 24/7. Like, dude, please give us a result sometimes. Give us an answer. Give us fucking something, man. I'm tired of waiting, dude. It's so tiring at this point watching WWE television and investing in certain stories because your doesn't fucking end. Doesn't end. We're gonna have to hear this. The Rock is gonna be teased all summer for what, one appearance? Then this year probably.
Remember when they said he was gonna show up on the European tour?
Didn't do that. Didn't show up at Wrestlemania. And now you're just gonna slowly tease him throughout the summer for what?
This just makes my whole mindset just change, man, because we all hear Rock's not going to be at Mania. I came to grips with it.
Yeah.
I was telling people, okay, you're kind of stupid if you think The Rock's going to be on the road to WrestleMania. It's just a stupid way of thinking. We're never going to get it. That's what I said.
And then
the final boss returns tomorrow. Remember that one fateful Thursday where the final boss returned and he came out and he put his fucking hand on Cody Rhodes' face and he asked him to be his son or have his soul or whatever he asked him. He asked him for his soul. He goes on to align himself with John Cena and help or aid John Cena in turning heel against one Cody Rhodes. And
that was it.
John Cena, they don't mention, and it's like John Cena the whole way up until WrestleMania, he never mentioned The Rock. He never mentioned Travis Scott. So why didn't we just have John Cena turn heel? The Rock wasn't needed for John Cena to turn heel. John Cena clearly has a justified reason to turn heel. He's laid all of the reasons out for you. Excuse me. He's laid all of his reasons out for you the whole European tour. And he didn't mention The Rock once. So again, I ask, was The Rock ever needed in all this? Because if you weren't going to show at Mania, if you weren't going to make sure that your guy, John Cena, defeated Cody Rhodes, if you weren't going to do any of that, I fucking ask, what was the point for Travis Scott to come out and get a cameo and take a crossroads?
That was it. Like,
and then you end the show with 20 minutes to 10.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking,
oh shit,
this is where we're gonna get a big angle post-match. And we got a John Cena celebration, but there was no angle.
No.
There was no angle. They even did the out zoom, like I referred to it as the punk shot at Survivor Series. They zoomed the camera all the way out, and it just faded to black. It just fucking faded to black. And I'm spending a lot of time trying to just keep myself in the mindset of like just being happy, because at the end of the day that there is a lot to be happy about. I got teary-eyed watching John Cena's final WrestleMania entrance. It was the very first WrestleMania I ever watched, he main evented. Against Shawn Michaels, and then just like seeing his final WrestleMania match. People could say whatever they want about the match. It's John Cena's final WrestleMania match, and it will always be special for that reason. And him winning number 17, the crowd was going nuts. People wanted to see it.
Yeah.
People love this guy. So I am happy about that. I'm very happy about that, and I'm trying to stay in that mindset. But again, this is a WrestleMania main event, man. I don't understand why we have to continue to create more questions stemming back to March, stemming back to February when The Rock originally came back. It's just like, dude, you weren't going to be interfered in the main event of WrestleMania, or you weren't going to be involved in any sort of way. So why did you come back? Why didn't they just do a John Cena heel turn? I mean, did he really need Travis Scott's help to win this match? I feel like the fucking turnbuckle helped him more than Travis Scott did.
Literally.
Him, pump faking Cody helped him more than Travis Scott did.
Him low blowing him helped him more.
It was a meaningless cameo just because The Rock is involved in this storyline. And again, it just continues to have your fan base guessing of when's The Rock going to show up. And it's like, I like having Rock around.
I do.
But the fucking problem is he's never around. And all it does is just create this buzz that never gets buzzed.
Yeah, it never gets finished. It never gets fulfilled. It creates an intrigue, and you're thinking, man, because like you said, when The Rock shows up, it's the coolest thing ever. He's the best part about television. And then you're excited. You're thinking, Rock's involved in this. What's this gonna do? And it doesn't get paid off. It just does. It doesn't get paid off. The whole story happens without him. It ends, and the next time you see him, it's some new, different thing he's teasing that's not gonna be finished. It's fucking pointless, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. Like you said, bro. Like you said, man. It's a problem with The Rock and his storytelling is, when he went away the last time, or when he went away the first time, he said he would be back for Cody. Came back, that got scrapped, and then all of a sudden he wanted to team with Cody. He wanted Cody's soul, right? Which again, not to mention, the first time he left, not only did he say he was coming for Cody, he also said he wanted the WWE Championship, if Cody still had it.
Neither
which he did. He came back. Cody still had the title. We went in a completely different direction. Why? I ask why. Because if we're not going in the direction you said and keeping continuity to your story, why are you back?
What is the point?
Man, I don't understand the Rock and his way of thinking. Sometimes Rainmaker says it. It's like he shows up because he just needs attention.
Yeah.
He just needs attention on his name, and he wants people talking about him. And then he goes away and comes back. When he comes back, he's probably going to do something completely different.
Yeah.
Completely different. And who even knows when we see him back?
We didn't see him at WrestleMania, so it's going to be the most random fucking spot we'll see him next, because that's the day his schedule opens up, and he can make it, and he feels like, I want to get some energy from the crowd. I'm going to just show up and do something. What is the point of this, dude? What is the point of any of this? You distracted completely from a great John Cena story for something that wasn't going to get paid off. You knew it. You had to know what you were doing, and you thought that was going to be received well. Don't understand that.
If you knew Rock was not going to be there, I just seriously question why you had John Cena turn heel and align with The Rock if John Cena would just ultimately go on a fucking solo run.
Yeah.
He's not aligned with anybody. He's been doing a solo run. He's literally not aligned with anybody. So why did we have him turn heel and align with people?
Fucking stupid, man.
I mean, man, you gotta understand. You gotta understand to a fucking point, dude. Your audience, you gotta understand your audience to a point, and not giving them shit that is not going to pay. You're not going to pay them off with either that, or you're just gonna show up whenever you feel like it. Because it creates no continuity in your story. You had John Cena turn heel with The Rock a month before Mania. So when The Rock originally came back and said the final boss returns to to step on people's necks or whatever he said, or to bold and disruptive, right?
Yeah.
He comes back, says that,
You don't
and
see it.
doesn't ultimately do anything. He did something that John Cena ended up doing all the work for.
Literally.
So why was he back, I ask? Again, why didn't you just turn John Cena heel? Because he's the desperate guy and he is searching for number 17 and he doesn't know any other way to get it. I ask why The Rock needed to be involved in all of this now. If you did a WrestleMania main event, had everybody on the edge of their fucking seat because Travis Scott walks out there and everybody's waiting for The Rock, because the last time we seen Travis Scott, The Rock was right there with him. You never give it to us.
Yes.
And again, right there, don't you think if this element wasn't involved at all, people would have appreciated the story with just Cena and Cody a little bit more instead of waiting for something that would never fucking happen?
That we got this grand, crazy story with The Rock, and we got the most simple, basic, and okay match and ending. The story should have reflected the match and ending we got. If we didn't get The Rock with this story, and we got, the simple, interesting, basic heel John Cena story with the match we got, it would have been received way better. But you fucking put The Rock in front of us, and he just doesn't show up, and we don't get the result to the questions you posed. Makes no sense, dude. Why would I watch a season of the show, and throughout that whole season of the show, the question from last season doesn't get answered? Why would I watch that season of the show? What is the point of it?
Yeah. Man, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't know. It's the Rock's way of doing things, I guess. Yeah. So, yeah, that was just my and Sir K's immediate thoughts on the main event, and everything surrounding that. But with all of that, like I said, just kind of trying to be in the moment and just reflect on John Cena's final WrestleMania. This was his last WrestleMania. This is the last time we will ever see Big Match John.
Mm-hmm. In the big match.
This was the last WrestleMania main event that he will ever have. This is the last WrestleMania match he will ever have. And, man, yeah, John Cena, what a run. What a run, bro. A lot of great WrestleMania matches in there. My first WrestleMania was 23, which was a banger match with Shawn Michaels in the main event of that show. Obviously, some of my other favorites from my period of watching wrestling, the Firefly Funhouse match. That was his most unique WrestleMania match. The first match with The Rock, Once in a Lifetime, that was fucking huge when I was a kid. The first WrestleMania I ordered live was 26 against Batista. And some other good ones in there. Well, we'd rather not talk about the one with the Miz. But man, obviously a lot of cool memories from John Cena and me and WrestleMania and his WrestleMania career. And it sucks to see it come to an end, but the GOAT did have his last WrestleMania match tonight, and
definitely,
man, thank you for all the memories, bro. Thank you for all the memories, and yeah, there's a reason why he is the GOAT. So
most definitely, man. Thank you, Cena.
Yeah. Kind of crazy when he was walking away, hearing the people chant "Thank you, Cena" at WrestleMania. It just crazy to hear, bro. Crazy to hear. Crazy stuff. But regardless, with all that being said, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to another edition of the Notorious podcast. Welcome back to day 3 out of 4 of your 4-day stretch here. We got 1 day left for the Raw after WrestleMania. And with all of that, man, how's everybody doing? And thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for joining us for another edition of your WrestleMania 41 post-show review, this time for Sunday. And with all of that, if this is your first time watching, guys, do not know how the show works. Every Monday, we're on here after Monday Night Raw. After Monday Night Raw with Unscripted. Every Friday at 3 p.m. Central with the news. And for the pay-per-views for WWE and AEW directly after the show goes off the air with the post-show review, man. So if you guys did miss yesterday's edition of the WrestleMania Saturday post-show review, you guys can now watch that on all platforms. That is Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and if you want to stay first, join us right here live on YouTube after the show goes off the air, man. So with all of that, if you guys have not got a chance to get your hands on some of the official NHP merchandise, you guys can now find this live on the merch shop. That is bonfire.com. Link is at the top of the description of this very video, where you can get this beautiful piece of NHP merchandise live on the merch shop as we speak. Again, that is bonfire.com. Link is at the top of the description of this very video. And with all of that, if this is your first time watching and you guys do not know who we are here at NHP, I am Johnny, one half of the host of this very show. And as for the other half, we got my man Sir K here. How the hell are you, bro?
You know, man, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. You know, the end of the show, you know, wasn't what I expected, man. But overall, enjoyed the night, man. Enjoyed the show. Obviously, enjoy hanging out with the good people to watch the show with, man. Always love that. And it's been a good weekend, man. It's been a good weekend. It had its downs from what we were watching, man, but it's also had its ups. Very hilarious at moments, man. But had a good weekend. Excited for Raw and Unscripted tomorrow. Can't wait. Can't wait, dude. It's been a great 4-day stretch so far. We got this and the next one to go, and I've been good, man. I've been good. Like Durante always asks, how's life? How's the family? Life's good. Family's good. How is everybody doing in the live chat? How's everyone doing watching the replay? What about you, bro? How are you doing?
I am doing okay. And yeah, just chilling, bro. Just chilling. I've had a past 3 couple pretty good days, man. It's been a good weekend overall. It's been a good weekend, and this WrestleMania was pretty good. If you put both shows together, they definitely had a lot that made it stand out for sure. But yeah, it was pretty good if I do say so myself. But yeah, man. So I'm doing all right. Man. How is everybody doing in the chat? As Durante always asks, I'm good. Family's good. What do you do? Well, yeah. What about you, Durante, Logan, Rainmaker, Hunter, DSL, and my boy JT? How are you guys doing? And thank you guys as always for joining us, man. So yeah, I thought that WWE did a better job overall with Night 2. I thought they did a better job overall.
Oh yeah.
With Night 2. You just felt more excited about this show. There was a lot more to be excited about this show, man. And I thought they did a pretty good job. At at just maintaining that level of hype, man. So yeah. Yeah, man. Well, I guess to start us off, it's kind of crazy. A lot of these matches on this show, there was only one match that went over 20 minutes, as opposed to, yesterday there was only one match that went over 20 minutes too. But not a lot of these matches even went over 15 minutes. And for some reason... I guess the fact that there was a 3-minute match on tonight's card made it a lot shorter of a show. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Okay, well, yeah, so to start us off here for WrestleMania, Let me move us out of the way here. To start us off here for night 2 of WrestleMania was the women's triple threat match for the Women's World Championship. Rhea versus Io versus Bianca. Io came out first. No special entrance or anything. She had like a white and green attire. I thought was pretty cool. Bianca had like a bunch of jump ropers and like a dance crew out there for her entrance. And Rhea Ripley came out with a like crown type, like skeleton crown. And I thought that was pretty cool. She had like the like a headdress that, you know, like something like a bride would wear. I can't fucking think of the name of those things. But it was pretty cool. Pretty early on into the match, the women were fighting on the outside, and Io hit a moonsault on the outside, JD McDonough style, except there was no announce table for her to bounce her head off of. So Io hit a moonsault on the outside. They would get back in the ring a little bit later. Rhea Ripley would hit a prism lock, which would then have Bianca pick her up in the prism lock position for a KOD. And later on in the match, there was also another pretty cool spot where all three women would get a German suplex. They would all sort of German suplex each other off the top rope. Thought that was pretty cool. And Bianca and Rhea are then getting some one-on-one offense, which would see Bianca try to jump at Rhea Ripley, and Rhea would kick her out of the air. These women would all start pouncing each other. They would, I believe Rhea pounced Io up into the air, and then Bianca did it back to Rhea. We would get a riptide attempt off the top rope from Ripley to Io, which Io would counter this and throw Rhea Ripley for an arm drag. Io would go for an over the moonsault to Rhea Ripley, who got her feet up. She got her feet up and kicked Io right in the chest, and Bianca would then pick up Io for a KOD for a near fall, which would be broken up by Rhea. Rhea and Bianca would be getting in some offense. They would get in some offense. Rhea Ripley would get the upper hand and then get Io on the top rope. Io would then try to go for a poison Rana off the top rope, which Rhea countered and swung Io in front of her, and Io would smack her head right on the little platform of the ring post. And yes, and Bianca would try to powerbomb Rhea off of the top, but Rhea would counter that, get out of that position, not a powerbomb. She tried to get her in KOD position from the top rope. Rhea would counter it, go for a riptide. The riptide was countered, and Bianca would pull out the hair whip and whip Rhea Ripley right across the stomach or back. And hit Rhea Ripley with a KOD. And while Bianca was pinning her for the KOD, Io was still on top of the top rope from getting her head slammed on the ring post from Rhea Ripley a little bit earlier in the match. She would hit a over the moonsault on top of both of them and pin Bianca Belair to retain the Women's World Championship. So, Io is still your world champion, and Bianca's WrestleMania streak is over. How you feeling about this one, man?
I loved it, man. I loved everything about this opener, man. It was great. I love that this opened the show, and it was a great triple threat, man. They have a great dynamic, all these three, and it was a good ass match. Like a lot of good sequences, and I like the story they overall told. And I think with the ending they went with, that makes the story they told even better. I kept saying it. The way they were telling the story, Io had to have won. And she did, man. And she did. I think they did it perfectly. I think Bianca was the perfect person to get pinned here because she has the distraction from her beef at Rhea. She has the also the mental distraction of all the stuff with Jade and Naomi. And I just thought it was perfect. I think they did this really good. And very intrigued to see what goes next. A lot of people are mentioning, man, Bianca got to go heel after this, man. The crowd has not been on her side lately. I mean, we've been watching the same version of her for like 3, 4 years now. I don't blame a lot of people. So I would like a character change, and I would like her to get fed up, stop being so nice, and snap, man. And I would like her to blame a lot of her problems on the people around her, and I think they would do a really good story with that, man. But I love what they did here. Glad Io retained. I feel like that Asuka match is gonna come up. I feel like Asuka's gonna return then turn on her. I think that's going to be really dope when that happens, man. I could see Rhea and Bianca getting one more match in, maybe at like Backlash. Maybe they'll be blaming each other and they have like a, singles match at Backlash or something. But overall, I see a heel turn on the horizon for Bianca. Don't know what's gonna be told for the summer for Rhea. I think you can do some stuff, but I'm really not too sure what's in told for Rhea. But overall, very satisfied with this ending, and I love the match, man. What about you?
Yeah, I thought this match was very good, man. I thought all three women worked very well together. I thought all three women worked very well together, and I thought they did a very good job at being in this opening spot. It was certainly a hell of a lot better than the open we got yesterday.
Fucking tenfold.
Yeah, they did a great job, like I said, at keeping the crowd hot, getting the crowd excited for the rest of the show, and just like I said, overall putting on a very good show for the crowd here. And yeah, I thought, and I also too, I thought that I thought pinning Bianca was a good option. I thought pinning Bianca Belair was a good option here because a lot of people want to see her go heel. I think I think that would be the best course of action here. You know, you have a lot of women in WWE, a lot of top women right now who are baby faces. You know what I mean? And I think it's time that other top women like Bianca Belair can make that change and go heel as well. If you look at majority of the women in WWE, a lot of them are fan favorite baby faces. You're looking at Io, you're looking at Rhea Ripley, you're looking at Tiffany Stratton. You're looking at, I mean,
Technically Jade, I guess.
Yes, Jade Cargill. They consider her a top name, and she's babyface. Becky Lynch is now back. She's babyface. So there's a lot
Bailey was.
of baby faces. But yes, Bailey. Well, when she was in the mix, she was babyface. But a lot of their top women, you get the point, are baby faces, and I think like it's been time for Bianca Belair to go heel. But now is for sure the time. Now is for sure the time. You see the crowd turning on her, and during the introductions to the match, you kind of see her, doing like this and kind of shooing off the crowd like she doesn't really give a shit. And I think it's time you play into that. I think it's time we see a character change for Bianca Belair. We've seen her before as a heel in NXT, so nobody can tell me, it can't be done.
She was great as a heel.
She was fucking phenomenal. I like her better as a heel than I like her as a babyface. And I know people love Bianca Belair, and I know, the little girls look up to her or whatever. But
Kids looked up to Cena. Yeah, I said I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna stick with it. You turn John Cena heel, you could turn anybody heel. So
yes, and So Io, or not Io, Bianca, you know, like I said, I understand a lot of people look up to her, they love her, but at the end of the day, how long before she becomes stale? And
Mm-hmm.
then they start to forget about looking up to Bianca Belair and they want to look up to other women. So I think it's time you experiment with that, and I think it's time you actually go through with that. Because again, if it's anything like we've seen in NXT, it's gonna be really fucking good, and it's gonna completely rejuvenate her career into something that is desperately needed for her. As for Io, I think that I think that I think Io retaining her was the best course of action. Again, you could have put the title on Bianca and have her bring that into a feud with Jade Cargill or Jade Cargill or Jade Cargo or any other nicknames that Michael Cole and Joe Tessitore have called her over this past weekend. Um, Jade Gargle, um,
Cargo.
Jade Cargo.
Insane. Speaking of, dude, I can't wait to get to a certain commentary fuck up tonight. Goated, but continue.
Oh man. So yeah, that was the best case scenario for Io. That was the best case scenario for Io because, like I said, they could have given it to Bianca Belair, but you've treated Io as so much of a wimp in
Mm-hmm.
this whole storyline. I mean, there hasn't been a week of television that's gone past where she hasn't got muffed by one, if not both, of these women. So I think for her legitimacy, it was best for her to keep this championship, to hold on to the championship here tonight, because you know you could have put the title on Rhea Ripley, but what would be the point of doing that other than just getting a pop at Mania? You know what
Exactly.
I mean? So let's try to think beyond that, and let's try to think, if Rhea Ripley wins this championship, what in the blue hell is she going to do after WrestleMania? Nothing.
Yeah.
So that there's quite literally nobody for her to face that I think anybody would care to see. So what is next? Well, if Asuka doesn't come back for a little while, because I would assume if they do bring Asuka back, that would be their Evolution match.
Mm-hmm.
Um, maybe we see this triple threat match again,
I wouldn't be surprised.
or maybe we see another Io and Rhea match, because technically Rhea wasn't pinned here, and then maybe that's where we see Bianca Belair get involved and turn heel.
I would like that, and then that's how the Rhea and Bianca match gets spawned, and I think that might be the best way to do that.
Yeah, you could do that, or you could do the Rhea and Io match and just have Io go over, and then obviously from there start whatever you have, maybe like we've been saying with Asuka, because I'm pretty sure Bianca goes back to SmackDown now.
Yeah.
So I don't really know. Obviously, I would love for her to stay back on Raw and turn heel. But we also haven't heard a fucking thing about this draft. You know what I mean? So I don't know I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if they're doing that or if they're just gonna move people around. I have no idea what they're doing with that at all. So that's something to consider as well. That's something to consider as well. Being that it's something they normally do around the end of April, but with Mania moved back to the end of April, I'm not really sure where that kind of falls now. I don't know if it's going to be at the end of May or what they're going to have going on necessarily with that, but yeah, I think Io was the right call here. Like I said, she has things that she could do with Asuka or Kairi Sane. There's things she can do, like I said, as to where the other two would have nothing to do, and the other one would bring the feud and bring the title into a feud with somebody who should not be fighting for a women's championship right now in Jade Cargill. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought the match was good though. Like I said, this fucking cleared the opener from last night.
Oh man,
Yeah,
10 fucking fold, I'll tell you that.
absolutely cleared the opener from last night. And
In the fucking main event tonight, cleared that fucking match. God
man,
damn. Yeah, I realized it at some point last night because I saw someone made a post about it. The Miz had a better match with Gunther than Jey Uso did over this weekend, man. Good Lord, man. But great opener from these women. Great triple threat, man. Love the way they opened the show, man.
for sure. For sure. So, that was that. These two women got 14 minutes and 25 seconds. As the next match was the Sin City Street Fight between Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. The match was enjoyable.
Good. Yeah.
The match was enjoyable. I think the hardcore element or the street fight element
carried the match.
Fuck yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. No one would actually want to see a straight up wrestling match with Damian Priest usually involved, but with the story they made. But I loved I thought they did really good tonight. I think the hardcore element really helped it, and it was a very enjoyable match, man.
Yeah, I thought this was something that I thought this was something with the street fight element that, ultimately kind of saved the match, because could you imagine Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest going out there for 14 minutes, and for 14 minutes Drew McIntyre is trying to carry this guy to a halfway decent match?
We get those fucking Damian Priest fucking forearms and big punches, and that sounds miserable.
His big corner splash and his rebound lariat where he runs at the ropes face first and then turns around for some reason. Nobody is trying to see that.
No, God, no.
So, Drew McIntyre came out to a Doom inspired entrance.
Not the Marvel character. Yeah, the video game, because they were sponsored, obviously.
Yeah, not Dr. Doom, not MF Doom, just Doom, the video game. So they were sponsored by this game. And Drew McIntyre had, I will say, his sponsorship entrance was a hell of a lot better than the sponsorship entrance we got last night with the War Raiders wearing whatever fucking cardboard kindergarten made Viking gear that was.
Cardboard glitter spray painted shit we got last night. It looked like an actual legit attire he had that was themed. He came out, did his little pose on the statue for the game, and kept it nice and simple, man. And the fact that it's like Doom, which is like a real actual game and not fucking a goofy mobile game, I think made it a lot better of a sponsorship. But it was like you said, it was way better than that fucking War Raiders shit, man. I can't believe they did those guys like that.
They did them so dirty, bro. Damian Priest, he came out with the guitar sounds of Kerry King from Slayer.
Really cool.
And
Damian Priest killed the vibe.
He was
shredding.
Yeah, he was doing really good on his electric guitar. He was doing really good, and obviously, he's just riffing along, and then we see this fire, right? And we see, this ultimate, mid-carder with some production value walk up, and he's looking badass. And he's walking up into the fire, and then what does he fucking do? He spreads out these fucking wings like he's Jeepers Creepers, and he killed it. He killed it right there. It was over with.
Man, I think he's fucking Batman and fucking went his cape out, and it was so sad. Killed the vibe instantly right there, man. And like Damian Priest does, tried to be cool, was the opposite of cool. But other than that, Slayer, lead guitarist, whatever he is of them, did great. Cool entrance overall until Damian Priest killed the vibe, because of course he does.
Yeah, he's standing next to Kerry King, and he's just aura farming. He's standing there, and he's trying to steal some of Kerry King's aura, and Kerry King's not even paying him any attention. And what does he do? He stands next to Kerry King, and he starts singing his fucking own ad-libs on his theme song. He's sitting there next to him, and he's like, "Bad guy." And he's fucking doing this. Like, dude, stop aura farming. It's never going to come your way, man. Just get down to the ring so we can get this over with. Hopefully this is the last WrestleMania match. But he goes down to the ring, and Drew attacks him before the match starts. These two get on the outside, and they start brawling. They're hitting each other. They're throwing each other into steel steps. Damian Mid-Carter Priest picks up the steel steps for himself, and he smacks Drew McIntyre right in the head with them. So these two are fighting on the outside for a little longer. Drew gets Damian Priest down, and he runs over to the barricade. And there is Drew's brother, John Galloway, with his phone.
And got Twitter open and ready.
And he runs over by Damian Priest, sits down, he takes a selfie of him behind a down Damian Priest, and he tweets for the second year in a row, "Still bored at work, LOL."
Dude, I instantly go to check my phone to look at the tweet. Obviously, why wouldn't you? Literally, it had to have been 15 seconds from when he probably sent that out to when I saw it on my phone. By then, already 46,000 likes, dude. I think it accumulated within the time frame for that match. It accumulated about 130,000 likes. And you faced him against Damian Priest at WrestleMania. Come on, man. Come on. I love that Drew does that. It's super fucking hilarious and super dope. But it just proves to me he is much bigger than you're using him for. God damn.
Remember in December when we heard that Drew McIntyre was going to be a huge priority? And he faces Damian motherfucking Priest.
Travis Scott was more priority in your main event scene than you treated Drew McIntyre so far.
Oh, God.
So Uso was too.
Had this fucking guy tap out Gunther, bro.
Still the worst part of the weekend. No matter what you can say about this main event, that was still easily the worst part about this whole fucking weekend.
Oh, yeah.
How people think that was a good match or a good moment or he proved the haters wrong is beyond fucking me.
The only thing he proved is what he's been proving the whole time. He's a one yeet pony.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I love Jay.
I do. I like the guy.
However, so Drew gets Damian Priest on the outside again, and he does his over the top rope dive that he normally only pulls out at WrestleMania. Drew gets attacked with a steel chair from Mr. Mid-Carter, Damian Priest. Damian Priest is downed a little bit later in the match, and Drew McIntyre goes to give him a white noise off the second rope through the table. Damian Priest slips out of it and ends up giving Drew the Razor's Edge through a table that was set up at the ring. A little bit later, Drew McIntyre hits a Future Shock DDT on those steel steps that were at this point in the ring. And then for the ending part of the match, Drew is about to get old schooled by Damian Priest. And there were 2 tables set up on the outside from earlier in the match. Drew McIntyre pushes Damian Priest onto those 2 tables, and obviously he goes through them. He gets Damian Priest sort of on top of the ring apron, and he pushes him towards the corner of the ring to where his head is right next to a chair that is propped up in between the ring ropes, and he claymores him into said chair. He claymores him into the chair and pins Damian Priest for the 1, 2, 3. Now, obviously, you know, I am not the biggest Damian Priest fan, but I do happen to be a very huge Drew McIntyre fan, and I don't know how much I don't know why he's proving to the company anything at this point, but I hope this proved to the company that no matter what you give him, he will fucking make it great. Again, I don't know why he's proving anything. He's a proven man in my eyes, but
proven for like 2 years, 3 years at this point. But
can The Rock prove to the company that he's not willing to just fucking make stupid storylines? Or if he is going to create storylines, can he prove that he's going to show up for them and follow through with them? Meanwhile, we have Drew McIntyre proving to the company that no matter what situation you put him in, he's going to fucking make it the best he can. Meanwhile, he still gets the shit end of the stick. And that just so happens to be Damian Priest this year. Mm-hmm. Well, he's the shit end of the stick every year. But for Drew McIntyre, it was this year for WrestleMania 41. What a fucking lackluster spot for Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. Superstar of the year last year. Literally. Damian Priest in 2025.
Insane follow-up to a fucking great year, man. Insanely lackluster follow-up to an insane year. But overall, it was fine tonight. I like what those 2 did. And it was entertaining, man. It's better than I thought it was going to be. I'm glad it was like a special hardcore type match. I think that really helped it. And I just fucking hope they do something 10 times better with Drew McIntyre going into the summer, man, because I have no fucking clue. But great job from Drew McIntyre. Damian Priest was alright, man.
Yeah.
And very, very fucking nervous and excited to see what's up for Drew McIntyre after this, man.
Oh god.
Maybe summer feud with LA Knight, maybe.
Could
be. I could think of, to be honest. But like,
could be.
Who wins that?
there was a spot in here where it sort of looked like Damian Priest was like seizing a little bit. It was I want to say it was the spot after the Future Shock DDT. Mm-hmm. You could see him, like, after he went down to sell, he was like blinking a lot and his arm was kind of like shaking. So that was pretty scary. That was pretty scary. I will say that. So I hope he is okay.
Oh, most definitely.
I hope he is okay. And he sort of, I don't know if he was just selling his ass off or if but towards the end of it, he just kind of looked out of it.
Yeah.
He kind of looked a little out of it. So I
hope he's good.
Yeah, I hope everything is okay. There with Mr. Bad Guy. But yeah, so but to answer your question, what's next for Drew McIntyre? I know he won Money in the Bank last year. Maybe he wins it again, but actually wins it. I know it's kind of lame because he won it last year, but like, who the fuck could win Money in the Bank?
The only person I could think of is either
oh God,
not Damian. I'm sorry.
Please,
fucking dyslexia.
Never scare me with that ever again.
Drew McIntyre or LA Knight. It's in LA. It's 3 years too late, but it's finally happening. I get it's.
We wanted it in 2023. We get it in 2025.
Very on the nose on the certain size nose of some people for Triple H. It's either Drew or LA Knight. That's all the only people I could think of to win that thing.
Yeah,
it'd be a very Triple H booking way to do it, though. I wouldn't be shocked at that. That's a very Triple. He didn't do it the first time. He's got it the second time. Yay.
Yeah, because I mean, I really don't know. Karrion Kross would be a dark horse.
I'd be cool
Gable's Gable's a staple.
Gable will be perfect. They're not doing it. If we're being honest with ourselves.
Yeah. Well, maybe El Grande Americano could do it.
Maybe. And then he gets unmasked and he loses it because it's nice. It was him that won it and not Chad Gable. They do some fuckery with that.
But yeah. Logan says Knight, Dom, Cross, and Gable. There's a lot of people he would not mind seeing win it. I hate to say this. I don't know. I want to see LA Knight win it, and I fucking hate saying that.
It's just you should have done it already.
Yes. It's just something. I also really don't see him slotting into a world title situation right now. That's why I'm saying Drew, because I know a lot of people are saying. One of you guys said it to me. I think we were talking about it 2 days ago on news, but like with Owens being out now, Owens was my pick for Money in the Bank. I thought Owens, and then obviously you guys are probably tired of hearing me say it, but Owens cash in on Jay, defends against Sammy for the world title at Mania 42. That was my original idea. One of you guys, I can't remember who it was, talked about Drew could be the replacement, and Drew could be the guy for Sammy to drop the title to at Mania 42. So that's why I said Drew. I mean, at this point, Drew, because if you look at like the world title, what are you gonna do? You could maybe have Rollins win it now.
Yeah.
Maybe Rollins would be a good idea and cash in on like Punk.
I was going to say maybe Punk finally wins it against John Cena, and if Drew's Money in the Bank, he destroys CM Punk's moment. And that'll be good. That'll be good revenge.
Yeah.
That'll be a good story for CM Punk to try to get it back. You have something there.
Absolutely. That would be a good spot for either guy, Drew or Rollins, because,
Because I think there's no one else to dethrone Cena except CM Punk.
I agree.
I think that's the only option in all reality.
So, like, maybe what you could do is Punk wins the world title against Cena. You could have a guy like Drew cash in on Punk, or you could have Seth cash in on Punk.
I'd be down with that.
And you can have Punk chase going into WrestleMania 42. You could have him win the Elimination Chamber because he can't win the Royal Rumble. And because I feel if Drew were to win it, Drew would probably have to go for the world title because it would make sense. I mean, he hates Jay. And he also isn't really too fond about Sammy either. So he does fit nice into that Kevin Owens spot. He does fit nice into that Kevin Owens spot, and he does fit the criteria of somebody who isn't really too fond of Sami Zayn and somebody who hates Jey Uso, who is now our World Heavyweight Champion.
Mm-hmm.
But if you wanted to do it in a WWE title scenario, Rollins might be your best pick because
Rollins would be good.
Because Rollins could slot into that Punk role, which, like I said, very, very perfectly. And Punk wins, big moment. Rollins cash in, steals the moment from Punk. Then we get Punk and and then we get Punk and Rollins with Rollins as a WWE champion going into Mania 42. Yeah, it's not new, guys, but it is. I mean, if it's stories,
it's kind of set in stone already. I mean, they kind of already put the pieces in place to tease the Drew McIntyre title win, to tease the CM Punk title win. They kind of early AEW'd it where you basically know who's going to be the next champion because that's kind of the way they set it up.
Yeah, because the only problem with a lot of younger names right now is I don't know where they slot in unless they go a completely different direction. If they go a completely different direction, this is obviously just me fantasy booking and just talking up some creative with you guys, but like if we were going to do the Sammy title win, that would be my way of doing it. But if you weren't, then obviously you could slot whoever you want into those roles. But with those two roles, I honestly think Drew or Seth fit the criteria the best to make the most sense for Money in the Bank.
And these next like 2 years are going to be like the last we're going to see of that circle of guys for the most part in full-time capacity. So might as well get the last hoorahs in now until you really start using those future guys, man. I would love, an LA Knight win in there or something else, and we could very well get it, and it could be shocking, it could be great, but I think the way they obviously set it up, you kind of have to pay it off with, Drew McIntyre, Punk, Rollins. You kind of have to pay these things off with world titles.
Yeah, which, if we're talking these two scenarios and what I would do going into WrestleMania, I would probably have Drew just beat Jay straight up clean. I don't really think he needs Money in the Bank.
No.
I think Rollins costing Punk with that Money in the Bank would mean a lot more because, has Rollins been able to beat Punk without help? No, right?
No.
Yeah, because Punk won, and then Roman basically handed Seth the first win, and then he didn't pin Punk on the other night. So Rollins beating Punk by way of the briefcase, I think, would add some nice fuel to that. I think they would add some nice fuel to that, as where Drew, let's be honest, Drew doesn't need a fucking briefcase to beat.
You should just destroy Jey Uso, man. Decimation.
Yeah. And maybe you could do it at Clash in Paris. That might be a nice venue to kill the Yeet.
Yeah, it would be really nice. And I think it'd be a good contrast to the original Paris moment of, Jay's doing great that night. People love him. Do the same thing, but it all comes crashing down. I would actually really like that.
Yeah. So just a couple ideas that could be pretty good. As for what's next to Damian Priest, don't know, don't care. Yeah, I mean that
he'll probably have some decent summer feud with some. He'll probably have like a Cody feud in there. They kind of did tease that, like yeah. So who knows what he's gonna do?
We are in for a long summer.
It's gonna be probably a long, dude. It's gonna be a long fucking summer, man. No WWE champion. Jey Uso as our world champion. Man, we'll see how it goes, man. But
Nick Khan, can you rethink your assessment about signing people to bench them, please? I think he needs to be benched.
I think some people do need to be benched, man. But you're benching the wrong people. You're over here benching fucking Andrade still. But most definitely, man. It's interesting to see what they're gonna do this summer with a lot of these guys, and what they're gonna do this year with just a lot of the events this year.
Yeah. So that was that match. Like we said, wasn't bad. Wasn't bad at all. I think the hardcore element helped it a lot. And yeah. So with that, before we get to the next match, WWE announced the WWE takeover of Perth. No, it's not like a takeover show. It's literally just WWE takes over Perth. In October, more details this month. Motherfucker, we're about 10 days before the end of the month. What do you mean later this month? Why didn't you just give us the details at WrestleMania?
I don't understand the way this company works nowadays.
However, we're getting a international Raw, SmackDown, and they said John Cena takes center stage at Perth. So we're also getting John Cena at whatever this Perth show is, whatever. I don't know if they're going to do Bad Blood again. I don't know what they're going to do for an October show this year. But yeah, WWE will be coming to Perth in October for 3 shows.
Definitely, man. Definitely exciting. Can't wait to see how that goes, man. I'm curious to see what it is and when it is.
Yeah. So, the next match for the Intercontinental Championship.
Man.
We had Dom versus Pin versus Penta versus Braun Breaker. Dominic came out wearing a OG Mysterio mask that he forgot to unzip before he ripped it off of his head. Looked pretty cool. Obviously, like the homage to the OG Mysterio, literally the OG Mysterio mask.
Literally.
Finn Balor came out here. Finn Balor.
There you go.
Came out here looking like a mascot for Waste Management. He had a
yellow towel on his face. Looked like he came out the sauna. He
had a construction lime green towel on his face, and he looked like he was ready to pick up my Tuesday trash on the fucking side of the road. Was Finn Balor. Braun Breaker, Penta's entrance was I mean, his entrance is already pretty cool, so he kind of just did that. Braun Breaker, who I thought would come out with
some dog-related thing.
I thought he was going to come out with a really cool entrance. He came out with nothing. He had nothing. It was just smoke.
It was weird this year for Mania. A lot of the champions, besides like maybe Cody off the top of my head, didn't really get special entrances. EO didn't get one. Braun didn't get one. Jay's was kind of way simpler than I thought it. Well, not Jay's. Gunther's was very simple, but that kind of does fit Gunther. Very, very disappointing in that regard.
Definitely. So, I'm dead. Yeah, it was cool. Everybody had those like tops patches in different places. It was pretty cool, I will say.
Most definitely.
So, the match started off, and pretty early on, we got a Pentagon dive onto both of the Judgment Day guys onto the outside. Braun Breaker came running in with a dive, just a standing dive to Pentagon. Penta, Finn, and Braun. Okay, so Penta had Finn up for the Penta driver. Braun grabbed the waist of Penta and suplexed both of them while they were in that position. Looked pretty cool.
Really dope.
Braun Breaker hit a double brainbuster to Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio. He then hit a Breakensteiner on Finn. Finn had his back turned to Dominic. Dominic saw the opportunity, goes for a 619 on his boy Finn, and
I love how that's his fucking name. Everyone just calls him now.
And he goes for the 619, and Finn catches him. And he's not happy about this because he realizes what's happening. So he grabs Dominic's feet and throws him inside of the ring and just starts stomping the shit out of him. He starts stomping the shit out of him as we get a Penta driver on, I want to say this was Dominic. Yes, we got a Penta driver on Dominic for a near fall. A little bit later in the match, Carlito is out here, and he's trying to put Pentagon through an announce table. And he's standing up on the announce table, and he is he's standing there waiting for his cue. I did a double take. I was like, John Cena's gonna take the lean.
Shit, he really hanging out with Travis.
He's really about it now.
Shit, he's gonna be double cupped up.
So he's waiting for Pentagon to be put through the table. Braun senses this, and he runs across one announce table and spears Carlito through the one that Carlito was standing on.
Brutal.
He gets in the ring. He spears Penta. Dominic spears Penta. Braun spears Penta. Dominic is up on the top rope. He gets tripped up by Finn. Finn Balor then does his does his final sequence on Braun Breaker. He does the drop kick. He goes for the coup de grace. As Finn has this match in the bag, he has this match won. He's literally pinning Braun Breaker to win the match. Dominic frog splashes both men, and he pins Finn Balor to win his very first singles championship on the main roster, that being one that his father, Eddie Guerrero, held once upon a time. Dominic Mysterio wins the Intercontinental Championship, or as Penta called it, the Continental Championship.
To PTSD.
Man, Dominic wins the Intercontinental Championship here to a massive, and I mean massive. Dude, I said it as it was happening. That reaction was louder than Jay's reaction.
It was.
And Dominic Mysterio got the reaction that I think WWE was looking for in Jey Uso's title win. He got a fucking thunderous ovation here. They were going bonkers for Dominic. And I was happy to see him win it myself, man. He was my pick. As soon as they put all these guys in a scenario, I knew where this was going, man, and I knew Dominic would end up pinning Balor to win this, and I'm very happy for Dominic. He deserves it. And I want to see WWE put him in the ring more, man, because he has improved drastically.
He is really good now. I remember when he first started, it was rough. It was fucking rough, man. But he really came into his own, man. And this match was really good, dude. Great dynamic with these four guys. Love what they did here. Dom just kept getting cheers anytime he got offense in. And the pop was so good. When he was celebrating on the ramp, he had to run back in the ring just to celebrate that moment because fans were going that crazy for the guy. Great moment, right choice, right booking decision, and right story they told in the match, especially with that ending. And love what they did here, man. I thought it was perfect. I thought it was really good, and it was a bomb-ass fatal four-way, man. I think we all know what's tomorrow night entailed for Dom and Finn. I think we all know Finn finally getting kicked out of Judgment Day, man. And I think we'll take a little break from Finn, and I think he's going to come back, and he's going to be something better, something more rejuvenated, and that's what he needs. And Dom is going to go on, have a pretty good IC title reign, I think, and feel like Braun might be taking a step up somewhere, man. I hope so, at least. And I'm excited, man. I'm very excited. I think they did really good with this tonight, and excited for tomorrow.
For sure, man. Yeah, I thought the match was very enjoyable. I loved it. I thought all guys put on quite the show, and I thought that they delivered, man. They kept the crowd into it. They kept the crowd hot. There was obviously a bunch of spots that people wanted to see. There was obviously the big Braun Breaker spear to Carlito, which, everybody loves to see and whatnot. And everybody, I thought everybody just showed out, man. Everybody did very good. That mixed with the storytelling aspect of Dominic and Pin. So it had every aspect that you could have asked for. Like I said, rich storytelling, a fire match with some really, really hot spots and stuff. So I thought it was nice, man. I thought it was nice. And then obviously, to even add more to the match was the fact that the audience got what they were looking for. They got their Dominic Mysterio IC championship win. So the crowd was happy at the end of it, man. And like, again, they were going fucking bananas for Dominic Mysterio, man. Literally what WWE hoped for in Jey Uso, they got in Dominic winning the IC title here. So yeah. It was good, man. It was good. It had every element you could possibly look for.
Exactly, man.
So, what up, Gotti?
How you doing, man?
Also, I forgot to say hello to our guy Lonnie. How are you, bro?
How are you, man?
Where are you? Oh, dude.
Up a little more, I think. Yeah,
there he is. Yes. What up, Lonnie? How are you, dude? Yeah.
Ignore that one.
Well, how are you guys doing, man? How are you guys doing? Thank you guys for joining us as always, bro. So we got
Man. Oh, man. Let's get this image ready.
I don't think. Did I make that one? I don't think I did. I expected them to put up another graphic. Okay. I don't have the image because there was no image, I guess, for this match. But the next match. Oh, actually, before we get to the next match,
Okay.
what is next for Braun Breaker and Pentagon? Because obviously, I assume we know where the other two are going, is attacking, kicking one of the guys out of the Judgment Day. That being the Finn Balor. Yeah.
I'm really scared after both, their Mania losses that come draft are gonna get, Penta and Phoenix on the same show. I'm really scared for that. But overall, I think they're gonna keep Penta in that Raw mid card division for a little bit longer. I hope so. I hope they do the same with Phoenix. But I do have a fear that they're gonna put them back together come the draft. That's a fear of mine. I don't think it's very likely, but it is a fear of mine. But
I don't know if it's too early to say this, and I don't want to completely give up on him yet. I don't know if WWE is going to end up liking Phoenix as much as they like Penta.
yeah, because he worked out really good, in AEW when he was used, because he was a more experienced wrestler, you could say, and that's what AEW is about. But here, Penta's got the look, he's got the entrance, and
The aura.
exactly. So I really have a fear that they're gonna want to fast track Phoenix onto Penta, then they have a fear with Penta by himself, if that makes sense.
That is because a lot of the time we see Phoenix, it looks to me just the way they treat him. He's obviously not treated as much of a priority as they treat Pentagon, or I don't feel that same love that, and it's hard to describe, but it's just like, I think what it boils down to is I feel like the company thinks that Penta is more marketable, which they are correct, because Rey Fenix is the better one in the ring, I think, but I have a fear they're going to end up wanting to put Penta with Phoenix, not because it's time, but just to get Rey Fenix over.
Yeah, that's the fear I have too.
As for Braun, oh God, I don't know. I'm very interested for tomorrow to see what they do with a lot of these guys coming out of this match, but
he also has history with Jay, so maybe he could do something with that. But I'm not too sure, man. I'm very nervous for that, and I'm hopeful they keep up with him, man.
Hopefully. So, the next match, Randy Orton.
Wow.
Randy Orton comes out here. He cuts a promo. He says his boots are laced, and he is ready. He is ready to take on whoever answers the call. His opponent ended up being none other than Joe Henry.
Cole. Michael Cole. I love you, dog. First of all, very awesome surprise. Deadass just didn't even think about Joe Hendry in that spot. Very, very cool spot. And I think it was a good option. Someone who can lose on WWE television.
Someone that they're not afraid to make look like shit.
Exactly. And I think they did do a good choice with him there, man. But Doug, Michael Cole, throughout this whole thing, put the whole entrance, the whole match, everything. This man keeps calling this man Joe Henry every 2 seconds. Randy Orton got Henry. Henry this. Henry. That shit was fucking killing us, man. How did no one say in his ear, bro, it's Hendry. Hendry. The whole match, dude, from beginning to end, fucking Henry killed me, dude, was hilarious.
Randy Orton with a scoop slam to Henry. RKO to Henry.
Dog. Which made it so much funnier because the other guys, Wade, Pat, they were saying Hendry, and no one told Cole, hey, dude, it's Hendry.
Did you hear? Apparently, the rumored other opponent for Randy Orton?
No,
it was Jeff Hardy.
Don't get me thinking like that, bruh.
Or maybe they would have called him Jeff Harvey.
Yeah, maybe Michael Cole would have been on one, man. I don't know. Yeah, he was driving like Austin, I guess, man. Because
I cannot wait to get to that segment. I swear to God, I can't wait to get to that segment, bro.
That shit.
That shit made my night, dude. Yeah. So Randy Orton faced Joe Henry. Henry was a great option. He was an amazing option. He's somebody who could lose, and he's somebody who can go back to TNA and just do his own thing. Because the problem is, you could have done Nick Aldis.
You could have.
But with Nick Aldis, it shouldn't have been an open challenge. Nick Aldis should have gotten RKO'd that one week and then came out the next week. And as soon as Orton mentioned Mickie James, he should have clobbered him right there and said, I'll fucking face you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And that did not happen. And they opted to go with the open challenge. A lot of people thought it would be Miro.
Glad it wasn't.
As much as it would have been cool to see him re-debut at Mania, that was a horrible idea. That was an absolutely horrible idea. He would have lost. Yeah. You're gonna bring a guy like that, the Bulgarian brute, back and fucking take an RKO loss and lose. I mean, first night back on the job. But yeah, so I heard Joe Hendry and Jeff Hardy were the two options, which if we would have heard no more words at WrestleMania,
that would have been insane.
That would have been pretty tough. Jeff has been on the straight and narrow, so he's been doing his thing. And the last time we seen him in NXT, he looked good. He looked good in there, man, for his age. So Joe Henry was a great option, man, as was Jeff Hardy, but they ended up going with Henry, and WWE I don't know if they're having Henry pay his dues or what, but
it's better than losing to The Miz. I'll tell you that.
Better. This was better than his original creative for being brought to WWE. It's better to lose to Randy Orton than it is to lose to 2025 Miz. But Henry lost in 3 minutes. And this was a thanks for coming. Let's give Randy Orton his 3-minute WrestleMania match and let's get the fuck out of here. Man, does it suck that Kevin Owens got hurt.
It sucks so much, man. I love Henry, or Henry, as it should be called now. Yeah. But dude, you go from KO and Orton to KO and Henry. Still really, really shocked and happy with that choice. I think they did it really well. Jeff would have been really dope. JT mentions it. Matt Riddle would have been really Matt Riddle would have been really dope. I don't think they're really gonna want to work with him anytime soon. Yeah. But that would have been really dope. Either way, think they did a good choice here, man. Henry, he really showed out, man. It was really awesome seeing him. And I think they made the right choice tonight, man. I think they made the right choice.
I think so. I think so. So the match was pretty basic. I mean, it was fucking 3 minutes. Joe Henry turns around to do his spot, where he looks at the camera. He turns around, he looks down the hard cam, and gets RKO'd right in the middle of it. And Randy Orton pins him, gets the victory, packs him up in 3 minutes, and gets him on out of here. And yeah, that was that. I can applaud WWE for giving us something that I really didn't expect. I think a lot of people were at the point where we did expect to see Rusev.
Yeah.
And we ended up getting somebody that was really good, and that was honestly a really good idea. It was a really good idea. So Randy Orton celebrated. He celebrated, and he gave Henry a hug, and he raised his hand, and then he RKO'd him again. And then Randy Orton did Joe Henry's spot, where he turned around and he did the Orton pose as he was fucking laughing. So good to see Randy Orton having fun in his age, man, and doing his thing as he defeats Joe Henry.
Great moment. Cool choice, man.
Great
Very
commentary.
shocked and hilarious fucking commentary.
WWE announces Money in the Bank officially for the Intuit Dome, Los Angeles, California, on June 7th. June 7th. So this will be the same exact day they will be running Worlds Collide with AAA and NXT. So, yeah, that was that. They did end up going with the original Money in the Bank logo. They did not go with the one that I pitched to them.
It was beautiful.
But they did end up going with that same as Money in the Bank logo.
WWE, they make a logo, they're going to use it for like 5 years straight.
Yep. In this case, they use it for 14 years straight.
I would say, especially with TKO now they're really going to use the same logo for years straight. Oh, pay an artist $20 for a logo? Nah, we're good.
AJ Styles versus the Mav. Logan Paul.
It was a really good night up until here. Logan Paul just
still humble. He's still humble.
He's still humble, man. He's still humble. And I don't care about him.
Banger match here.
I don't care about Logan Paul anymore, dude. He was interesting when he first came in. It was, how can this guy, do all this? Triple H, every meet is true. I say this every time. This guy shouldn't be able to do this. And he can't do it because he's boring as hell at this point, man. Didn't do it for me, man. I think it was a waste of an AJ Styles WrestleMania match, if I'm being honest.
I thought this was a banger. I thought, what? I thought, oh, hell no. Well, this match, I thought it was okay. I thought it was good. I just
didn't care.
Yeah, I mean, I ultimately really didn't care too much about the match itself. But yeah, I mean, I thought the match was fine. It wasn't really anything spectacular.
No.
Which is crazy enough to say this because he's one of the best wrestlers on the planet, but this is kind of what we've come to expect from AJ Styles WrestleMania matches. A lot of them end up either bombing or just they're good, but they just don't live up to what people think.
Yeah.
One of his best WrestleMania matches in history was against Shane McMahon. That was one of his best career WrestleMania matches.
I would say that was the best in-ring one.
Yes, probably. Probably the match. Yeah, I mean, like I said, the match was it was not a banger. In fact, it was just it was an okay match.
Yeah.
It was an okay match, and it just yeah, like I said, weird enough to say, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
it's AJ Styles, and you think, WrestleMania would be the place he gets to show out, but I mean, this was just uh another AJ Styles WrestleMania match that, like I said, you look
Yeah.
up and down his Mania matches. The one with Jericho was okay. The one with Shane was pretty good, really good, I would say. The one with Nakamura, I don't even like thinking about because it was so bad. The one with Orton from 35 was just forgettable. 36 was the Boneyard match. That was probably his best ever WrestleMania match. 37, he was teaming with Omos against the New Day. 38 was against Edge. That bombed. I thought that match was ridiculously lackluster. And then you look 39, I don't think he was on. Right?
I don't believe so.
40 was against LA Knight, and that was a good match as
Yeah.
well. Nothing, again, not really the most memorable match ever, but I remember it being good.
Yeah, wasn't bad.
And it's just ridiculous to me that his best in-ring match at WrestleMania ever was a cinematic match. And his best in-ring match ever was against Shane McMahon, and his best Mania match ever was a fucking cinematic match in a outside of a barn.
Well, fucking A, man.
Crazy to say, because he is one of the best wrestlers on the planet. But
yeah.
Logan Paul, he's a good worker.
He's all right.
Don't really
Care.
Yeah, I just a lot of people said, well, what about Logan Paul versus John Cena? And people's answer to that was, well, we can't do that. It's John Cena's last WrestleMania. Okay. Well, my response to that is AJ Styles probably has 2 or 3 max. I mean, when did he say he wanted to hang it up? By the time he's 50? So he's got, 3 WrestleManias left? I don't really know exactly how old he is. It's around 3 or 2, I'm sure. We're wasting it with a L to Logan Paul.
For what? What does this do for Logan? What does he do after this that anyone cares about? Thought it was pointless. I really don't understand Logan's involvement with the company at this point. I don't care to see it. I really thought it was just a waste of an AJ Styles match.
Yeah. Logan Paul, he comes out with this odd entrance. He comes out, he's carrying a drone as if it's like a vlog camera. And then they go into these shots where it's like 12 different camera views of Logan Paul. And then he picks up the drone, flies into his hand again, and he places it on top of a Prime bottle. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what they thought they had in mind. It just kind of came off weird to me.
Yeah.
AJ Styles, the entrance was nothing special, but as always, if you could say one thing about his WrestleMania career, the gear.
Insane.
Oh my God.
Beautiful.
That gear, he was wearing a white, silver, and blue gear, and it was beautiful. It was very beautiful, man. These two, they start off fighting on the outside. No, not start off, but early into the match, they were fighting on the outside. AJ was thrown into each ring post, which he sold very well. We got some traditional offense by the both of them. Logan Paul's hitting his moves. AJ Styles is hitting his moves. We get a springboard backflip damn near all the way across the ring by Logan Paul. Looked beautiful. Logan Paul then hits AJ Styles with a buckshot lariat that Pat McAfee called the buckshot lariat for a near fall. AJ Styles would then hit a 450 for a near fall. Logan Paul hit AJ Styles with a Styles Clash. AJ Styles no-sold it and hit him with a Styles Clash of his own for both of the guys to be knocked out for a period of time. And while this period of time was happening, Karrion Kross grabs the brass knucks from Jeff, the guy in Logan Paul's entourage. Karrion Kross tells Jeff probably something along the lines of he is going to kill him.
Probably.
And he takes the brass knuckles. AJ Styles then gets on the outside of the ring and throws Jeff away. And Kross says to AJ, "You need to do it for the business. I'm begging you, put these on. Just put them on." The ref is standing there watching all of this, mind you. AJ grabs the brass knucks and he throws them. He then punches Karrion Kross in the face. He gets in the ring, goes for a phenomenal forearm, misses, turned around to the titanium fist by Logan Paul, and then gets hit with a pulverizer. And Logan Paul defeats AJ Styles. So, if you could take away anything from this match, he did not beat him, I guess, clean?
Yeah.
It was because of the distraction of Karrion Kross. My only question here,
Okay.
you have Karrion Kross's involvement with AJ Styles for what exactly? Are you going to turn AJ heel again? He just came back as a babyface.
Exactly.
What exactly is the mindset behind all of this? I fail to realize.
I'm very curious. I don't know really where they're going with this, what the end goal for AJ and Kross is, man. I'm excited for the feud. I think that's going to be really cool to see. But, very head scratching into what direction they want to take AJ Styles, man, because I think for now I would like babyface AJ Styles.
Same. I think he's at a point. I think he's kind of at like that Cena and Randy point where he's just at a point where people just love to see him, and people are fine with that.
Yeah, we know there's not that much time left with said person, so might as well enjoy them while they're here.
Right. So with that honestly that's my only question here, man, is with Karrion Kross, basically being the reason that AJ Styles lost this match to Logan Paul. What exactly is the end game here? I seriously fail to realize that, because I just don't see AJ turning heel anytime soon right now.
And I don't really want that, to be honest, man. I think you could keep him as a babyface for a while, especially if you have an Orton turn on the horizon, you turn Cena. I think it's best if you still have an older guy who's, a babyface, man. I think it would really help. Especially Raw does seem to have a lot of heels that he can face, and that I would like to see.
For sure. So, that was that, and as for what's next for AJ Styles, that's the biggest question out of all this. I mean, I guess he continues his feud with Karrion Kross, and hopefully he can help Karrion Kross get to the next level. I just don't know what that really means for AJ.
Mm-hmm.
As for Logan Paul, he's going to go to the next match they want to put him in.
Yeah, he's their fucking AEW graphics guy.
Yes.
Hit the graphic. Who gets the Logan Paul match, man? Hopefully no one, but it's gonna be someone, and that's the next time we'll see him.
Yeah. The next match. Well, before we get to the next match, actually, we have an official word from our sponsor here at the Notorious Heels podcast, man, W Energy. W Energy is an energy drink loaded with vitamins and nootropics formulated to improve focus without getting the jitters. W Energy is a clean formula that is sugar-free, zero-calorie, free from fillers and artificial colorings with 150 milligrams of caffeine per serving. You can get your W Energy products today with the link below and code NHP at checkout to save yourselves 10% on your next W purchase. As always, shout out W.
Truly. Always got to shout out W, man. Whether it's work, workout, it's WrestleMania weekend. Always a long weekend for a lot of people. So if you need the energy, you don't want to have the jitters, try W, man. Maybe you're going to drive a four-wheeler at some point and you want to be energized, but you don't want to be distracted and hit something like some people, man. So you need that energy and you need a jitterless, man. W, they got you. It'll taste good all at the same time. Always got to shout out W.
Yes, so as always, thank you to W, the official sponsor of the Notorious Heels podcast. Next up, we have the Women's Tag Team Championship match, which, in my honest opinion, the controversy overtook the match.
Yeah.
The match
Was
was not bad.
I liked it.
I know this is going to be a really fucking hot take. I love Bayley. She is dead ass one of my top 3 women of all time. I was not tripping over her non-involvement. I know a lot of people are hurt, and I feel you. And you have a reason to. If you as a Bayley fan, you have a reason to be upset. And I can see why this soured you out on Becky's return. Because they should have just did... It looks so obvious that Becky Lynch was going to be the partner. They should have just had Liv and Raquel beating the shit out of Lyra for weeks, telling her she can't find a partner. Because of how bad you made people feel for Bayley. Personally, Bayley has not really done anything over the past year since she won the title at Mania last year that really made me get excited for her for a WrestleMania match. I know a lot of people wanted to see that Roxanne match. Right now, I think there was a lot better. I said this a couple weeks ago on Unscripted. I didn't care to see it too much just because, you were building a bit of a story on NXT, and you may have had something at some point, but then you just dropped it. And so it was, I mean, you did fuck Bayley out of this year's WrestleMania, but I wasn't really looking forward too much to, the fact that Bayley wasn't on the WrestleMania card, I don't think it would have made that much big of a difference. Yeah. And Becky Lynch coming back, we would not be talking about this match, hardly at all if Becky Lynch didn't come back, in my honest opinion. If Bayley would have been in this match, 90% of you would have said, that was just a nothing women's tag match.
Oh, yeah.
For me, I know a lot of people are upset, and I can see why you are upset. For me, those are the reasons why I wasn't tripping about it much at all. How'd you feel about this one, bro?
For me, it's less about Bayley herself, because I definitely do get what you're saying with that, and I, like you said, if you're a Bayley fan, I do get your frustration. But for me, it was less about Bayley herself, because also, like you said, if it was just Bayley in this match, probably would have been a nothing tag team match that just went and came. And it's not even about Becky kind of just being shoehorned at the end there. The story itself really wasn't that good. It was literally just shoehorned in the night before. You could have had weeks building up of, Lyra getting possible partners and they all dropping like flies for whatever mystery reason. And then Becky gets revealed. Been a better moment, man. I don't know, man. It's just, I love Becky and am excited to have her back overall. And I'm very intrigued to see where this goes. But watching Becky, tonight, I just get this weird vibe of she doesn't care to be here. I don't know if it's true, and I don't know if it's maybe supposed to come off like that. Maybe they could play off that vibe. But I get the vibe of she doesn't care to be. Every interview she's on, she's saying, she's done. She's kind of just doing her own thing, and that I respect. But like, I don't know. I just get this vibe that she doesn't really care to be here. And I don't know. It's kind of weird, but hopefully it goes away, and hopefully, as a story develops with all this, I get less of that, and maybe that becomes the point of her return, and I would actually really like that. I don't know, man. I have mixed feelings about this. I like it. I don't like elements of it, man. But I am glad to have Becky back. I am. She looks great. Back in business. Very cool. Love Becky at the end of the day. Just I get a weird vibe from her as of lately with when it pertains to wrestling. I get this weird vibe that she feels like she's done what she can, and she's kind of checking out, man. But overall, I am excited. Like you said, I do get the Bailey fans' frustration because they did do her bogus.
Very.
They did her bogus as fuck. Mercedes is telling her to answer the phone, man. And to be honest, that actually might be what's best for Bailey at this point. I think a run there might actually do some good for her. She's done a lot. She's done everything here. It gets to the point, we always say this, where we want the business to be where if you do everything in one company, you should go to the other company because you just want to do more. That's what Bailey can do. And I would feel like she could come back probably damn near at the same time as Mercedes. But overall, I'm not as mad as some people are. I have a weird vibe with Becky right now, man, and I don't know how to feel about it. But I am glad she's back, and I'm very intrigued to see how they play this off. I'm sure Becky is the one that attacked Bailey. That's gonna end up coming out, and maybe something else had. Maybe Lyra attacked Bailey. You could do a swerve and do that, and she knew Becky would have come in, and Becky was like, "Hey, if you attack her, we could put myself in. We could do this and that. Maybe could do a different switch up like that." But overall, I am excited that Becky's back, man. I just get a weird vibe that I hope either gets enhanced per storyline or goes away.
No, I see what you're saying, man, and to be honest with you, bro, it's not just a Becky thing. It's a 4 horsewomen thing for me. Because like I see what you're saying about like Becky doesn't help it because of like her on interviews talking about how just much she likes doing her own thing and just being a mom.
And I get that,
but I get it too. But like when you look at creative for the 4 horsewomen, well, at this point there's 3 of them left in the company: Becky, Charlotte, and Bailey.
They've done everything.
They've done it all. What at this juncture is there to do? And I just feel the creative is so stale for all 3 of them. But the point we're at now, I think Becky is in the best position out of the other 3 because Becky's coming back with this storyline. And maybe things are all going to change for Bailey because maybe they're going to incorporate her into this storyline and with Bailey, Becky, and Lyra. But I think the story was good. You could have kept Bailey in this match and the story still would have been good. But what you can do and what WWE is doing with this story, and I just hope they don't drop the ball with it like they did with the Bailey and Io feud.
Yeah.
But with that is I just really hope WWE, when they have this whole thing figured out and when they figure out that, Becky's the attacker and she finally turned on Lyra because she was jealous that, Lyra was looking towards another 4 horsewomen to mentor her. Because it should have been Becky, because Becky, maybe always felt like a mentor to Lyra. So the fact that Lyra would go to another 4 horsewoman over her ticked Becky off a little bit. I hope they can rejuvenate a little bit of Bailey's synergy, and same with Bex as well, because for the longest time, especially right before Becky left, and literally up until now with Bailey, up until this very day, and Charlotte as well, they all just give a vibe that everything has been done.
Yeah.
Everything has been done. They all won the women's tag titles. They all have won the tag title on each brand. They all have.
They've told every story with each one of them.
Yeah.
New people. They've done everything at the end of the day, man.
So I hope they can incorporate a good story into this, man. And like I said, this wasn't. I really feel a bit of an overreaction for this match. I think the IWC is just so quick to say, they did her wrong. They did her wrong, and you're not looking at.
That's probably the point of this.
Yes, the point is probably to turn Becky heel in what will hopefully be a legit heel run, not a fucking Lady Gaga heel run like we got last time. I think it'll be a legit heel run, and hopefully it comes off better than the first one, which that won't be hard to come off better than. But
exactly.
But I honestly, in my honest opinion, man, I just really feel this was an IWC overreaction. And if Bayley was in this match, you guys would have all said that this was a throwaway, nothing match, and that's that.
Exactly.
But the fact that it was Becky being involved, which is something I called fucking weeks ago. I said on Unscripted a couple weeks ago when they announced the tag gauntlet match, Bayley and Lyra as a team. What if Bayley got hurt and Becky's going to be Lyra's partner? I called that a week ago. Yet, people were acting as if, this wasn't a possibility. This was probably the possibility the whole fucking time, dude.
It probably was, which also should have just done it when, she had a potential. You shouldn't have done it Mania weekend. I think that's the main killer in this, and I think people would have reacted a little better if you did that. But I do think it is an overreaction overall.
Yes, I really don't. I really am just not feeling. I'm not feeling the outcry, man. I'm not feeling the outcry, and this is coming from somebody who loves Bayley. I think Bayley is amazing. She's absolutely goated in this business, but yeah, she didn't really she didn't really do much over the year to really make me want to jump out of my seat to see her in a WrestleMania match. I would have much rather seen Becky return at WrestleMania than Bayley and Lyra versus Liv and Raquel and just win.
Or just lose and just be like, well, our women's IC champ just lost
for
no reason.
Because like I said, with Bayley being taken out now, you have a story of the jealousy of Becky Lynch of, I was going to stay retired, but here I see one of my proteges
don't need me, or they think they don't need me.
Yeah. You're off hanging out with somebody who's, another 4 horsewomen. There's a story there. It makes sense. I think everybody needs to calm down. If Bayley does choose to stay in WWE and not call Tony Khan, I'm sure she's going to have many more WrestleManias where something that makes sense for her will come to be.
Most definitely.
So, yeah. However, for this match, Becky obviously returned. Liv and Raquel had their normal entrance. Lyra had a very cool entrance. He had white and gold bird wings.
Dope as hell, dude. Incredible entrance.
She looked very cool. I love the white attire. Thought it was pretty sick. And this match started off, and we were waiting for the Becky Lynch hot tag, and Lyra was fucking tweaking, bro.
She did great. Lyra's amazing, dude. She is just so good in the ring, man.
Dude, she is very good, and at this point in the match, in the very beginning of the match, before Becky got her hot tag, that was the most lively the crowd was to see Lyra Valkyria absolutely out wrestling Raquel Rodriguez.
Fucking Raquel.
So Lyra was cooking up. Becky got her hot tag. Obviously she looked a little rusty, but overall she didn't look horrible. Being that she's been out of the ring for 11 months. I expected a lot worse for being gone for 11 months. So
it wasn't that bad, a little, like you said, a little rust, but that's to be expected.
Yeah. Becky Lynch hit a manhandle slam to Liv Morgan to win this match. Why Liv took the pin over Raquel Rodriguez, it ceases to amaze me.
And now I'm gonna have to hear or look on Twitter the reaction of these Liv fans that hate when she loses. It's gonna be the Becky Hogan thing. God, like, dude, holy shit! Like, at the end of the day, Triple H, dog, you know the reactions you're gonna get from the way you book this. Why would you book it this way? You know Becky Hogan is a thing online. You know the Liv fans are fucking annoying as hell when she loses. Why would you set all this up in a way that you know if you have a brain is gonna get bad reactions? Don't know why you booked it the way you did, man.
Yeah, I didn't see the problem at all in Becky Lynch pinning Raquel Rodriguez.
Easy way out, man. Who cares about Raquel?
And two, SummerSlam is in New Jersey, so I would assume Liv Morgan is probably going to be in a women's world title match on that show, being that she's from New Jersey and she's one of their bigger stars in the women's division. So I really didn't know why that happened. I really didn't understand why that happened at all. Again, when you have Raquel, who is easily can take a pin, just slide into that spot. So I don't know. I don't know about that, man. But
come SummerSlam, I'm sure it's gonna be Lyra and Liv. Becky's gonna be in Lyra's corner. Probably gonna cost her the IC title. I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, that's if
they don't feud for the IC title to help get it over. But you think it would have already helped getting it over with WrestleMania? So I didn't do a good job with those things already. So I don't have much faith.
Yeah, and see, so one thing that scares me about Lyra. Why can't you use Lyra unless Becky's involved?
That's the thing that also scares me. She's really good.
It's like the fucking Toni Storm and Mariah May effect. We love Mariah May, but only when Toni Storm's around. When Toni Storm's not around, well, we could really give a fucking half about you. All you have to do is watch this woman in the ring, and right there will give you the answers, bro. She is one of your next top stars. You should be putting the same amount of stock in her that you put in a Tiffany Stratton on SmackDown.
1000%. And it's not like she's just a good in-ring worker, dude. She's good in the ring. She has a cool look. She can cut a promo. She has everything you want.
And let's not forget, bro, that King of the Ring tournament last year, when she was on TV heavy in like the month of May or like coming on to Monday Night Raw, people fucking loved her.
People are fucking with her heavy. And you just, like, dude, there's just those random people where a company just doesn't get it with them. A lot of it's been with LA Knight.
Yeah,
I think Lyra is in that like LA Knight spot where
Chad Gable.
People love these guys. They're great at everything they do, and you just don't use them the extent you should be using them. I don't get it.
Joe Henry.
Henry.
How long did it take TNA to put that fucking world title on Joe Henry?
Took him like fucking a year.
So
they really were inspired by Triple H with that fucking work partnership, man. They said, "Oh, you look like that." Bet.
Yeah. So Becky with a manhandle slam to Liv Morgan. As of course, as soon as Becky pinned Liv, here we are with Becky Hogan. All right.
I'll have to hear it till the end of days, man.
Yep. So
don't hear Mercedes Hogan all that much as we hear Becky Hogan, but let's move on.
We don't even hear fucking Charlotte Hogan as much as we hear Becky Hogan.
Like, dude, Charlotte is Hogan. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand.
Charlotte was fighting with one of WWE's biggest up and coming stars yesterday, to the point where
she chipped.
I don't know if you guys seen the images of before and after with Tiffany Stratton. Dude,
bump on her head, chipped tooth, blood in her mouth.
Fuck.
God
what happened,
damn.
Bro? So that was that. Again, Bayley was not there. Becky was there instead. And it is not the end of the world.
It's really not.
So,
to the best moment of the show.
Next was the main event. But before that, we hear the music of one Stone Cold Steve Austin.
He has been the GOAT this weekend, man. Friday, the Hall of Fame, fucking hammered. Doesn't care about his speech, just saying shit. Great. Yesterday, on stage, wearing the exact same suit from the night before. In tonight, bro.
Dude,
Tonight.
He lives in Vegas.
Yeah.
I know he could have went home and got another suit.
It's probably the only one he fucking owns.
Oh, man. That is just too funny. Stone Cold is driving around the ring. Stone Cold is driving around the ring at about 25 miles an hour around that tight space. He's driving around and around and around, and he goes to do it the second time, and he's driving past the announcers. He's driving past the fucking announcers, and he looks back at Michael Cole and Pat McAfee, goes to turn, and does not turn all the way, and just fucking crashes into the barricade.
Man is fucking hammered, flying on the four-wheeler, dude. The first spin around before that, he was going so fast, he two-wheeled it. When he was going in front of the announce table, rounds back over and just fucking right into the fucking barricade, dude. Fucking hell. And it's so funny because he's sitting there and he's talking to a lady and he's trying to start it back up and it's just not turning on, dude. Fucking hilarious. Stone Cold is a fucking gem from this weekend, dude.
Oh, man.
Every night he has cracked me up, man. I fucking love that man.
The Hall of Fame speech to this. I mean, oh my God. That Hall of Fame speech was some of the funniest shit you'll ever see, bro. And me and Brett went out there. We had a basic ass match. I didn't think it was that good. But then it was that good. And we did something special. So I knew in that moment, you just needed a basic match. And you could turn anything into greatness. It was a great match. One of the greatest in WWE. And he's just word vomiting. And then we get to tonight. And he fucking crashes the ATV. And it was so funny because we can see him looking back at the commentators and he's laughing and having a good old time. And he turns around and he just fucking hits the barricade.
Fucking hilarious, bro. How did he finally fucking crash that thing? Every time we always say, oh, dude, how fucking funny would it be if he fucking crashed it? And it finally happened. He finally fucking crashed the four-wheeler. Hilarious, dude.
Oh, that's fucking too funny, dude. That is too funny, man. So, Stone Cold gets in the ring. He says the attendance for tonight is 63,000 and some change.
Sold out.
He says, so they had to, yeah, I was gonna say, they had to, he said it was 63,000 and some change. He said yesterday was 61,000. I don't know how yesterday was 61,000 and they said it was a sellout, but then they did 63,000 today.
Yeah, that's not how a sellout works. Wait, like first night, you say you sold the show out. Next night there's more people. You say that you sold the show out, so you didn't. I don't get that, man. Not seeing something like that.
So
no confirmation.
Okay. So they go over he goes over the official attendance for both nights. They go over the official attendance for both nights, and he says it was 124,000 and something, but he says that's bullshit. So he's gonna count. He tells everybody to stay still, and he's gonna count them all. So he starts going 1, 2, 3, and the crowd saying what in between. And then he says, to hell with that. and they hand him some beers. And he starts fucking getting plastered. He hands some to the announcers. They're there getting plastered, which we could hear in the main event, Mr. Rody Rhodes, as Michael Cole called him. So yeah, that was the Stone Cold segment.
Fucking hilarious, dude.
It was over before it even got started, man. That was some of the funniest shit. That was fucking hilarious, bro. That was so hilarious, man. This man finally fucking crashed the ATV.
We say it every year, dude. How funny it would be if he crashed. Finally fucking happened, man. Hilarious weekend from Stone Cold. Loved it. And I know he got the bag for this whole weekend. He got the bag to go out there, be drunk, and crash a fucking four-wheeler, dude. Goated, man. Goated career.
At the end of the segment, they didn't even let him hop back on the forklift or the they didn't even let him hop back on the four-wheeler to drive away. He walks over by the lady where the forklift is, and you can fucking see Nick Khan talking to her as he was not let back on his forklift, or forklift. He was not let back on his four-wheeler. He just had to walk away, drinking his beers and laughing the night away.
Fucking hilarious. He didn't give a fuck for what he did, man. Love him.
If I was that fucking lady, I was telling my friends, man, if I was that lady, do you guys remember that old "Do Not Try This at Home" video where fucking Rey Mysterio is laying there fucking holding his knee and he's like, I had surgery 5 times on my left knee. I would have been lying there holding my fucking knee and selling the shit. I'm like, you know what you can do to make this up to me, Mr. Khan? God,
tickets.
$1.2 billion in lifetime WrestleMania tickets, and I forget all about this.
Free travel too.
Oh God, pay for the whole weekend, every fucking year,
everything,
food,
on, man.
merch.
Title, God, at least one title every year, please.
Oh man, it would have been over. Nick Khan would have had a hard time talking to me. I can promise you that.
Oh yeah, he would have hated me because we would have been at WrestleMania every year, man.
You guys know that green shirt guy, motherfucker? That would be us. It would be the NHP guys. You would see us sitting there with our fucking merch at every WrestleMania, right next to him.
Right next to him, watching the show, and show would be great for you guys too, man.
Man, so that was that. Stone Cold finally crashed the fucking ATV. Man,
here it goes.
The main event.
Or as Hunter puts it, the plane event. Go. You see it?
No, I did see that one. There it is.
Fucking plane event. Yeah. Man. Damn.
Let's look on the bright side. Let's get the positives out of the way first.
Mm-hmm.
We all got to watch and experience, no matter how bad you think the match was, we all got to watch and we all got to experience John Cena's last WrestleMania entrance, his last WrestleMania match, and we all got to fucking watch him win his 17th World Championship.
Exactly. And say what you want about the booking of it, man, but at the end of the day, it's not a retirement that sprung up on us, you know. He's forced to do it. It has one last match. We don't even know it's his last match. We know what we're getting, man. And we know we just got his last WrestleMania match, and we got to witness it, man.
Yeah. So, and again, there's a lot of guys that we don't get that privilege with. Many years ago with Edge.
Yeah.
Nobody knew that was his last match. Many years ago with Bryan. At the time.
Yeah.
Nobody knew that was his last match. And if there's one guy that pops into mind, it's Bray Wyatt. We never knew that was his last match. And if there's another guy very close to him that pops into mind, it's Brody Lee. We never got to watch. We never knew we got to watch, but we never knew at the time that those were their last match. With John Cena, we know this is his last WrestleMania match, so if you could take one positive away from this, I urge you guys to just be appreciative. No matter what you thought about the quality of the banger of the match, we got to see his last Mania entrance. We got to see his last Mania match. And most importantly, we got to, whether you were from home or in the arena, we all got to experience and celebrate that 17th championship and watch him do it. Like he said in his promo the other week, man, all we've done is sit on our ass and watch him be great. And boy, has it been fucking awesome.
Exactly.
So, John Cena comes out. My idea was not taken into account here. I had an idea for John Cena's WrestleMania entrance. I don't know if you guys remember the John Cena WrestleMania 25 entrance where he had all of his clones, right? There was a bunch of John Cena clones lined up on the ramp, and they were all wearing the gear he was wearing at the time, which was the black and blue. I had an idea of you could do that same thing. You have a bunch of John Cena clones line up, but they're wearing every single piece of like every shirt that he's ever worn, whether it was, you could have some guys there in like prototype gear. You guys could have some guys from like the OG, debut match with Kurt Angle in the trunks and the boots. And then you build yourself up to the Word Life Cena. You could have some guys there in jerseys. Then you could go over to, Chain Gang John Cena, Military Marine John Cena, all the way up to Fruity Pebble John Cena, and so on and so forth. You could have every shirt that he's ever worn. That was my idea. Heel John Cena is not going to give us what we want, bro. That is an unfortunate thing
about the character.
Is we're missing out on some really fucking cool, especially in this case. God, that would have been a sick fucking entrance for WrestleMania, man. And I thought, I thought that would have been perfect for his final WrestleMania. And that's the one thing that does suck about this heel run.
It does, man. Because imagine babyface John Cena coming in to face Gunther, and he has that entrance where he slowly looks back at every version of himself, and he gets that hope. That would have been really cool, man. But
no, we had we had other plans for Gunther.
Good Lord. But overall, I am satisfied with what we got. Very simple, but it's what the character is, and at the end of the day, I get it.
Yeah. It's the one thing that sucks, though. It's the one fucking thing that sucks. However, maybe we could do something like that for his last ever pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll still be heel by then. I don't know what's going to happen, so we'll have to wait and see. But Cody comes out with a bunch of people on dirt bikes. They were, hopefully they weren't going to pull in Austin. They did not crash into the barricade. They were using the ramps as ramps. And they were flying across the stage. Look pretty dope. They all then line up as Cody Rhodes is coming up to Cody Vader. He's wearing a gold skull helmet like he did last year for WrestleMania, but this time it opened like the Iron Man mask or helmet, whatever you call it.
It's so obvious that they took one of those viable, workable Iron Man masks and built it into that, and it was so fucking cool, dude. That was sick as hell.
It was pretty sick, bro. It was pretty sick. John Cena, on the other hand, he was wearing all black. He obviously had the blue jorts, but he had black shoes, he had the black socks, and obviously his black farewell Vegas attire. So Cody starts getting a lot of offense on Cena first. Cena rolls out of the ring. Cena would jump back in the ring. Cody's getting some more offense, so Cena rolls out again. Cody, as he rolls out the second time, Cody hits him with a tope. After this, we get some heavy, slow, methodical John Cena offense where he is just owning Cody Rhodes. Everything Cody Rhodes has, he has an answer for. He hits Cody Rhodes with a tilt-a-whirl DDT. Cena then starts He starts going for his comeback, right? He goes for the the move before, I don't know, that like drop down where he picks him up and slams him down right before the five knuckle shuffle. He goes for that. And Cody, as he goes to do the five knuckle shuffle, Cody kicks him in the head. He then hits him with his disaster kick. Cena then gets him down again for a five knuckle shuffle into an attitude adjustment near fall. We then get an avalanche attitude adjustment for a near fall. Cena goes to the top for his leg drop, his famouser off the top rope, pretty much. Cody channels his inner Batista and power bombs him off of that for a near fall. Cody then goes up top for his super Cody cutter, the one where he jumps off the top rope, for another near fall. John Cena gets Cody Rhodes hits Cody Rhodes with an attitude adjustment, and then gets him in an STF. Cody gets close to the rope twice, and Cena pulls him back twice. And he goes to pull him back for a third time, and Cody kicks him into the ref. He kicks him into the referee. And Cody hits a crossroads for a no count as Cody's trying to get the ref up. Cena exposes the turnbuckle pad, and he hits Cody's head off of it about 2 or 3 times with an attitude adjustment for a near fall. As these two are laying, we then hear Fiend start playing over the PA as Travis Scott makes his slow and methodical walk to the ring as he is standing there, and Cody is going to Cody's obviously pretty spooked by this. So Cena hits him with an AA, Cody hits Cena with a crossroads, rather. It's a little bit later. Cody hits Cena with a crossroads as Travis is out there. Travis pulls the ref out, and the ref is down, so Cody calls for him to get in the ring. He tells Travis to slap him. And Travis goes to. Cody Rhodes catches him, hits Travis Scott with a crossroads. Why the fuck am I saying that? Why is Travis Scott involved in this fucking... Why am I talking about a Travis Scott sequence in the fucking WrestleMania main event?
For fucking Cena's last WrestleMania match.
So he hits a crossroads on Travis Scott. He rolls out of the ring, and he turns around, and John Cena has the championship. He goes to clunk Cody Rhodes in the head with it. Cody catches it. They have a tug of war, and Cody grabs his title. Cody has the title, and he is now faced with a decision. Do you kill Superman? Do you kill your hero? For once and for all, do you hit him with the championship? Or do you put the title down? Cody can't do it. He can't do it. John Cena's begging him. Don't hit me. Don't hit me. So Cody feels bad. He doesn't want to hit John Cena. So he takes the belt down. And Cena's relieved and Cody's relieved. And they're just kind of like standing there. Cena low blows Cody. Grabs the championship. Hits Cody Rhodes in the head with the championship. Hits him with an attitude adjustment. For the 1, 2, 3. And John Cena is your new WWE champion and 17-time WWE champion at that. John Cena has officially broken the record.
Mm-hmm.
And Cody Rhodes, after a little over a year with the championship, has been dethroned. He is no longer the WWE champion. And this match went 21 minutes and 40 seconds. Honestly, man, I know a lot of people did not like the match. I did not really mind it. I just wish the storytelling went hand in hand with what they were presenting us. Like I said in the intro to the show, John Cena, again, if you're looking for some sort of 5-star banger out of John Cena in this current age, you're going to hate the year of 2025.
You're looking wrong.
You are looking towards the wrong avenue for a banger. You're going to be disappointed up and down this entire year. You will be disappointed. Now, again, like I said in the intro, what they should have done was capitalize on what John Cena can do better than almost anybody full time.
Mm-hmm.
And that is tell a story, give us some cinema. And they gave us Travis fucking Scott.
For whatever reason, man. And I think a lot of the sequence and just events of this match would have been better if we never got that Rock-related, Travis Scott-related stuff. If it was just Cena turning heel because he felt like he needed to. He has the same reasons he already does, for, the reason with the fans and all that. And we got what we got tonight without those Travis Scott and Rock elements, and we got all this, it would have been way better, man. But you set up something that you knew we weren't gonna get, and that's where you fucked up, man. I thought overall the sequences were fine, and I like what they did, and I think it would have been better if we weren't expecting The Rock, if we weren't expecting all this different stuff and elements with Heyman and Seth, and you can't blame it on the fans for fantasy booking what they want and getting mad when it doesn't happen. You teased all this shit.
Yes.
You teased it. So you can't get mad at us for expecting it. And that's what really killed this match. We had a lot of expectations that the company teased that didn't happen. If we didn't have those, and this is what we knew we were getting, it would have been well received a lot better than it is. That's your own doing. The way this match is being received is the company's own doing. You expected us to get something that we just didn't get. And that's Triple H's and The Rock's and WWE's fault. They knew what they were booking. They knew what we expected, and it was polar opposites, man. So you can't tease something and have the fans expect something, not give it to them, and tell us we're the ones in the wrong, because I know that's what they're gonna do. And you can't do that here, man. But overall, I liked what they did. I think they shouldn't have had that Rock element if you knew you weren't gonna give it to us, man. And if you have it, you should have given it to us. We expected The Rock. If you did all that shit with The Rock, should have involved The Rock. It's just plain and simple, man. But no matter what, dude, very happy for John Cena. He got 17 at his 17th WrestleMania. Beautiful moment for him, man. I'm very glad he got this. It was the right decision with him winning. I think they just didn't hit expectations they set for themselves tonight with that main event. But overall, congratulations, John Cena. Thank you for, giving us all the Mania moments you gave us. Thank you for this one. And I'm very intrigued to see where this all goes still, man. At this point, mentally, I'm taking The Rock out of the John Cena factor in my head, because I'm giving up on it. I'm expecting the John Cena related stuff. It's going to be cool. It's going to be awesome. I'm not going to expect The Rock, because you can't expect us to expect The Rock, because you didn't give it to us.
Yeah.
So overall, liked what we got. Definitely was lackluster and definitely wasn't what you expected us to get, or what you made us expect to get. Overall, though, thank you, John Cena. Cody had overall enjoyable reign. I think I would give it a success as a rating. Very curious to see where they go from here, man. Cody couldn't pull the trigger. And I'm very intrigued to see how Cody Summer goes. Very intrigued on that. very intrigued on where they do with Cena this summer. I'm sure Orton's coming up, and I'm sure, we'll end up ending with the Punk stuff, and I wonder what we're gonna get in between, man. So overall, dude, I like what we got. I think WWE set expectations they knew they weren't gonna meet, and they're paying the price for not giving it to us, man. But what about you, man? What do you think about all this?
I think you said that perfectly. Yeah, I think you said that perfectly. I mean, again, I'm getting real tired. I'm getting really tired of The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting really tired of him. When the fans get mad, he wants to trot out and say he's 20 steps ahead, do something, and then not follow through on it. If you want to be involved with the company, then be involved with the company. Don't be half involved when it matters for you, and then just completely gyp us at the biggest show of the year. It's a shitty way of going about it, and yeah, I mean, it sucks. It sucks, and I know. No matter what movie he was filming, I'm sure if he asked for a break for one day, or maybe they could shoot scenes with other people while he's gone for a day, I know he's got a jet. I know he can get from Vegas back to Hawaii probably in, how the quickest amount of time that there possibly can be.
And he's not even gonna wrestle. He's just gonna stand there, probably get one of these, and call it a day.
Yeah.
Don't get it.
That's exactly what would have happened. So yeah, I mean, it sucks, and I wish he would commit to something when it comes to WWE, because this half committing shit just it turns out like shit, and it completely ruins it for a lot of people. There's a lot of people genuinely upset that The Rock did not show face after all the teasing and all the different stuff you put in front of our face.
Mm-hmm.
So again, you can't be mad when people are upset and when people aren't just going to watch as a fan. No. Because as a fan, when I was watching, you showed me The Rock was going to be involved. As a fan, when I watch, I'm waiting for Rock, and I get Travis fucking Scott. The one guy in that group that everybody was wondering why the fuck he was even there in the first place.
We get him. For some reason, dude. I mean, you can't set an expectation and watch us and make us watch as fans, because like you said, as fans, we expected The Rock, didn't fucking get The Rock, so explain that.
Yeah, I thought, yeah, I really thought that they just missed the fucking mark, man. I thought they missed the mark with the story that they were trying to tell here, man, and I just thought it fell flat on its face, just because of the expectation that you yourself set.
100%.
So, yeah, again, you didn't have John Cena mention The Rock at all during that European tour. So I ask, why was he even aligned with The Rock in the first place?
Why is there a Travis Scott Rock group that's there but isn't there? Can it? It should have just been John the whole time, and it would have been tenfold better.
Yeah. Yeah, really shitty, man. Really shitty. But with that, I thought the show, as itself, I thought the show was really, really, really good. If I'm looking at both nights, I think this WrestleMania did turn out very good.
Yeah.
I think this WrestleMania, if you're looking at both nights and just looking at it as a whole thing.
Everything we got.
Some of the standouts from WrestleMania this year for me was LA Fatu, Charlotte Tiffany. Rollins, Punk, and Reigns was probably the match of Mania.
I think it was the match of the weekend.
That one actually had some star-studded cinema at the end of it, and not a rapper coming out. Io, Bianca, and Rhea Ripley was very very good. The 4-way was awesome. Dominic's moment was great. Joe Henry was there. Becky Lynch returned. That was nice. Stone Cold fucking crashed an ATV. And John Cena won the 17 title. overall, man, I would give this WrestleMania a thumbs up for sure. I would give it a thumbs up show. Like I said, they missed the mark on a lot, but in saying that, you can't disregard that they did a lot of good as well.
They did, man. I would agree with you. Those are probably my highlights too. I would say my match of the weekend would be the triple threat of
Yes.
Punk, Seth, Roman. Thought it was perfect. We said it last night. That was perfect in every way, man. And overall, I think it was a good Mania weekend, man. It had its lows and it had its highs, man. I think overall it was a success. Good surprises when they needed to be. And overall, I would give this weekend a thumbs up.
Yeah, so CM Punk, please think about that 5-year deal, because
Please,
your whole circle of storytelling actually likes to give us some cinema. And you are clearly better at doing it than somebody who's on the fucking director of the board. Or on the board of directors. One of the directors of the board.
CM Punk, man, was the best part about Dynamite when he was there. Was the best part about Collision when he was there. And he's the best part about WWE while he's there, man. Truly is the motherfucking GOAT, man.
Fucking CM Punk, dude.
I would agree with that rating, Logan. I would say a 6
Yeah.
out of 10 or like a 6.5 out of 10. Some in that ball range.
Yeah, 6 or I would probably say 6.5.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I would probably say 6.5. Yeah, no, I would absolutely agree with that for sure.
Most definitely. People, top 5 worst Manias. Dude, again, I said it last night. I've watched Mania 34. I was excited for Mania 34. Nothing will come close.
Do y'all remember WrestleMania 32, 27, 34, 35 was even pretty rough.
Pretty lame, yeah.
37. What was the one in Dallas? That was it
38?
No, that was 38. That was 38. That one's. Do you guys remember that fucking title unification match with Brock and Roman?
That shit was ass. That shit was horrid, dude.
What's the infamously bad one from was it WrestleMania 9?
Was like the old infamous, like, dude, this isn't, I don't even think this is top 10 worst Manias, dude. Like, it was fine. Like Logan said, it was above average. Solid 6.5. It wasn't as bad as people say it was.
Yeah, I mean, if you think this was a top 5 or a top 3 worst Mania of all time, I strongly urge you to watch 34, 32, and 27. I strongly advise you to watch those.
And I'm sure watching 34 back is bad. We were excited going into that Mania.
Dude,
that was the killer. I was so pumped, and we got that.
We had Asuka winning the title to look forward to. We had Nakamura winning the title. We had John Cena versus Undertaker.
Was that the Rusev day where it should have been them?
We had fucking Rusev about to win the U.S. title. The title retained to AJ, went to Charlotte, 4-minute match with Cena, Taker, and Jinder fucking Mahal won the U.S. title. You cannot tell me
that this was worse.
That this Mania here was worse than fucking that.
You cannot tell me that, dude. You can't. I'm sorry.
I mean, come on with it, bro. That is, yeah. Saying that this Mania 41 was a top 5 Mania of all time is one of the top 5 worst takes I've ever heard. I mean, I strongly urge you to watch some of those other WrestleManias, because yikes.
They were a yikes, man. But overall, man, enjoyed the weekend, and I'm excited for tomorrow with Raw, and very excited for Unscripted, obviously.
Yeah, so
talk about Dynamite. Dynamite.
Oh,
hell yeah, dude.
I forgot about that show, man.
Fuck yeah. But excited for tomorrow, excited for Raw, excited to see the follow-up. Thank you guys for this weekend, man. Love doing the Mania back to back. I'm actually very excited for SummerSlam this year for the same thing. Love doing the back-to-back shows with you guys, and had a blast this weekend, man.
I had a blast this weekend too, bro. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you guys so very much for the great turnouts this weekend. Thank you guys so very much for just stopping by, giving us a listen, hanging out with us after watching these shows, man. So thank you guys truly from the bottom of my heart. It's been a great weekend. It's been a great WrestleMania double review here. And just, yeah, thank you guys for coming along with us for the ride. And we will have another one of these double show weekends coming up here in, was it the end of July or beginning of August with SummerSlam. So
Excited.
Excited for that. And yeah, man, so that is gonna do it. Hunter says, how long do you think it will take before they turn Cody heel?
I'd say like a year and a half, 2 years.
I will say, now that he has lost to John Cena in that way, we're definitely, I don't know how long it'll take, I can't say that, but we have definitely started the arc to it.
Yeah, they've turned down. They're entering in that lane slowly.
Yeah.
And I think we're pointing in the general direction of that.
Yeah.
So again, I just said a time, and I'm not gonna give a time, but we're in that direction most definitely.
Yeah.
And that's exciting, dude. I've been waiting for that shit since he was since he was garbage in AEW, man. So I cannot wait, man. Love Cody. And I actually really love his babyface run, dude, especially as of late. But that's a direction I'm gonna love.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be good, man. So, yeah, that is that, and
Yeah,
that is.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, seriously, bro. Thank you guys so much for everything this weekend, man. And with all of that, this puts a wrap on the WrestleMania review. So that's for the WrestleMania review. And about a year from now, we'll be sitting here behind yellow, purple, and green graphics for WrestleMania 34. For WrestleMania
Basically.
42, that logo trips me out every time. Every time I just see that style of logo, I think 34 because it fucking looks so identical to it. But we'll be sitting here for Mania 42. Hopefully, we don't get fucking blue balled at the end of it like we got this year.
Literally.
So, with all of that, thank you guys so very much, truly from the bottom of my heart, man. Thank you guys for listening to NHP, and thank you guys for choosing us to listen to as your post-show review. Thank you guys so much, man. This weekend's been great. It's been a lot to me. It's been awesome. Getting to just share my thoughts on John Cena's final WrestleMania with you guys is just nuts.
It really is.
And with all of that, that is going to do it. Thank you guys so very much for joining us. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you all in less than 24 hours after Monday Night Raw. Well, to be more specific, the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania 40. Let's see what happens. Hopefully everything goes well. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you guys after Monday Night Raw with NHP Unscripted.
Peace.